I know that I may not have too many live people today because everyone's out barbecuing and getting ready for fireworks. But I did want to go ahead and make this video anyway because I've had a lot of people asking me about the Veggie Spiralizer. And I pulled this giant zucchini out of our garden the other day, and I want to use it before it starts getting soft on me. And Jackson says hi. No. Can you say hi? No. No. But so I'm going to show you how to assemble the spiralizer, and also how to cut some zucchini noodles, and then we're going to make a homemade pesto to top them with. And I already have grilled up some onions on our grill pan because it's about 90 degrees, and so turning on a 500-degree grill just wasn't in the cards today for me. So when you get your Veggie Spiralizer, it's going to come in a few pieces, and there's one of them. And so how we assemble this is super easy. All of these pieces come apart for easy washing. You can either hand wash it or you can put it in the dishwasher top rack. So this is just your non-slip base and your veggie chute. It just kind of pops on. This is your blade protector so that when it's in storage, you just pop it on like this, and it's gonna keep that blade safe from getting dinged, as well as keep your fingers safe if you're digging in your cabinet and not exactly looking where you're going. It also stores your fettuccine and spaghetti blades, if you can see these. So you have these smaller spaghetti blades here, and then on the other side you have a wider zucchini blade, which is what we'll be using. And then permanently in the spiralizer is this ribbon blade, so you can even cut ribbons of your fruit or vegetables. And my dad likes to use this to cut potatoes and then make them for chips. He says it's the perfect width to get a good fry on your chip, and he likes really thin crispy chips. So we're going to be using the fettuccine blade. So we just slide it in this little slot right here, and actually what we want to do first is we want to pop on our guard, because not only does it store our blade and protect the blades, it also helps us get a proper alignment. So you want to just make sure that this is latched in properly, and then you want to line this up and kind of have it raised up, and that helps you keep an even keep the blade even across the entire thing. Otherwise you can end up with lopsided noodles or places where it doesn't cut all the way through. So then you just have this little turn screw to hold the spaghetti cutter in place with pressure. And so here's your crank, and this is the piece that will hold in your veggies. And see, it actually has a little rubber thing there, so I'll show you what that does. But you just line it up and you put the crank in, and you just work it for a hot second and make sure it's tight. But so what that little rubber stopper is that then when you're getting ready to put your vegetables in, it holds this piece up, the crank up, so that you can work with both hands. So to prep your zucchini, and this is great for all kinds of vegetables, potatoes, sweet potatoes. I've used it with onions with the ribbon blade to get great to get not rings but really thin sliced, and then you just do a rough chop on them and they're perfect. And so what I did was I cut a flat top and bottom, and I center this, and that one is actually too tall.
Where's your plate?
One of my favorite things about this spiralizer versus the other one that I've used is that this one works with gravity. And you can actually see here they have little rings to help you guide centering your vegetable properly. And so I've just centered there. And so I'm going to try and do this so I can show you both sides at the same time. So then you just push this down into your vegetable and start turning. And look at all those awesome noodles you're getting. And with a lot of vegetables, such as zucchini, squash, cucumber, that kind of thing, this is really easy to do, not too much pressure. I will say that with denser vegetables, such as sweet potatoes particularly, or butternut squash, I've heard with things like rutabaga, that kind of thing, those are all great to use in here, but they will take some pressure. But don't worry, this has been built to take that and with those particular vegetables in mind. So then you're going to get these long noodles. So I just do a quick rough chop. Another thing you can use is a pizza cutter, I've seen, or you can pull out your trusty kitchen shears and just grab a handful and cut. And so that's how we get the noodles the length that we want. Unless, of course, you want a 4-foot long noodle. That's fine, too, if that's your thing. But this makes it a little bit easier to eat. So I'm just tossing all of these in a bowl. And this is actually going to be a cold pasta. My husband's kind of looking at me funny because he doesn't agree that zucchini noodles taste like, you know what? I think because this one is so big around the inside where the seeds are, that's just a little softer. So we might actually not be able to spiralize this piece. Similar to an eggplant gets too soft in the middle. So I'm just going to do these end pieces, and then I will probably stick this in the fridge and cut it up and saute it tomorrow or something like that to add a little extra flair to something. Throw it in some actual pasta to get some veggies in there, that kind of thing. So, but look at all these nice noodles you're getting. Yum! Do we have anyone with us today, John?
You have like 5 people.
Awesome! Who's with us today?
Melissa.
Hey, Melissa.
Adrian.
Adrian, I know that you have expressed a little interest in this or thought that the spiralizer was a cool idea.
Vicky.
Hey, Vicky.
Hannah.
Hannah. Skelly or Whip with us?
I'm right here. Hannah. Hannah, my sister.
Hey, Hannah.
Kimberly.
Hey, Kim.
And Rachel.
Awesome.
Longstreet. I don't know if you have like multiple friends. Hopefully you don't.
I do have multiple friends, John, as a matter of fact.
Well, you know what I mean.
So there are our noodles. And I'm actually going to go ahead and put the tomatoes in. And John is shooting the angle that shows you the messy part of my kitchen. So I just did these on our grill pan to get a quick little char on them, which just adds some good flavor. And all I did was brush the grill with some olive oil because all of our the rest of our flavor is going to be in our pesto here that we're going to make. And this comes together really super quick, you guys. So I went, this is our manual food processor. And I know that I've shown it off before, so I'm not going to go into too much detail, but 3 cups, machine washable. This is not dishwasher safe. It's just wipe clean, but it's really easy to keep clean. I went to our garden earlier. One of my favorite things is fresh basil. So that's something that I always try and do. Even if I don't do a garden, I try to do a pot of basil. And look at all of that, and it smells so good, you guys. And before, I used to always hand pick, which is fine. Hand, that's right. But I did finally decide to invest in our pruning shears this year. And I love these. They're spring loaded. And then they have this locking, which keeps them safe fingers. What?
You're good. You're good.
And also, you can see there's this notch cut out, which you can use for smaller things like trimming basil and herbs, but you only need to open it this far. But then when you're going to bigger things, you can open it, I think it's like a 2.5 inch or so space there. And there's even a notch at the bottom that is meant for tougher twigs and that kind of thing. But these things are awesome. Totally worth it in my opinion. And we do have a sharpener for them. So you can just sharpen them whenever you need to. And it comes with a handy dandy little oil sponge already tucked in there so that you can oil them regularly or anytime you wash them or they accidentally get left in the rain. Just to keep them operating at their premium efficiency. And so, because I don't have quite enough basil, you want about 3 cups of basil. I'm using some basil. This adds a little extra nutrient. Nobody goes along, but I like to do this in batches a little bit. And we're going to use a 1/2 cup of oil. So I'm going to add about half of it now to help get this blended up. And what I have here, this is one of our personal pizza stones. It's about 8.5 inches. But so I have some pine nuts that I toasted in the microwave. You guys, it's super easy. Do it for 30 seconds at a time. Stir in between until they get where you like them. But toasting them really does add a bunch of extra yummy flavor. It just kind of brings all their good nuttiness to the front. And I know that pine nuts are expensive, so you can use walnuts instead. Or you can go half and half on the walnuts and pine nuts. You know, whatever works for you and your family and your budget. And you know what? We do that substitution pretty frequently because I try to keep walnuts in the house. But this time, as the first pesto of the season, I wanted to go a little more upscale on it, I guess. And our garlic press, again, don't worry about peeling the paper off of the garlic. You just take the clove, put it in, and you scrape it off. And I don't use a ton of garlic in here, just because as much as I love garlic, I really like the basil to kind of shine in here. And you know, honestly, instead of using the garlic, I think it would probably use canola oils that are in oil. But, you know, again, that is totally up to you and what you have in your pantry. And then we like to add juice of half of a lemon. It just gives it a little extra kick, I think. Again, juicer, and I know that I've talked about this before, but you put cut side down into the, so you don't use it to cup, because you want to turn this inside out. So, see how that's turned it inside out? That's what you want to do. Now I'm going to put this top on again. Does not screw on, just set on. Take a minute. And I really kind of like that this does not do a super fine pesto. Certainly can, it'll take a little longer, but I like the kind of bigger pieces of my greens. Yes, yes, honey. Yes, honey. What am I doing? I'm making pesto. Oh, yeah. Yeah, yummy. Are you going to eat some?
Mom.
Are you going to eat some? Yeah? Yeah, I'll be honest if he does because it's green. But hopefully he's going to try it. So I'm just adding some more kale in here. We'll throw in salt and pepper because everything is better with salt and pepper, right? And please excuse my nose. We kind of passed a cold around between us, and luckily mine's on the downswing, but he's still dealing with it. Here we go.
You have Jackie Hagman joined,
Hey.
Kim Hewlett Kessinger,
Hey Kim, hey Jackie.
Cindy, and Jennifer. You're like bouncing between like 4 and 7 people here.
Awesome! Thank you guys for joining me on your 4th of July. I know that there's a lot of other fun things going on, so the fact that you would come spend it with me is awesome. And so I just added a little bit more oil to give it a little looser consistency. It was getting a little bit chunky. And so, you know, when I say a half cup of oil, you don't have to use the whole half cup. I always just check where the consistency is, and there are times where I want a runnier pesto. There are times where I want a little thicker pesto. But so you guys, does that not? Oh my God, it smells so good. So this is the pesto that we just whipped up, and it smells delicious. I used some basil out of my yard. If you don't have basil in your yard, you can totally use store-bought basil. They sell it at every grocery store. But when you do that, it can get expensive, and so that's where kind of substituting some of that with the kale, baby spinach, a darker green like that is a really great idea because it saves you some budget and stretches those dollars further. And there you can make cilantro pesto and all kinds of stuff just to kick up your meals a little bit. So we'll be serving this tonight with an Italian grilled chicken. It's just chicken with salt, pepper, and Italian seasoning, nothing fancy. So how does that look to you guys? I gotta say, I can't wait for dinner, which is as soon as we get off this video here. So you just kind of toss it in, and I should be using tongs here because that would make this easier, but I hate doing dishes, so I try not to dirty more than I have to. Thank you. I don't think we need all that. Thank you. And if your tomatoes kind of smush in here as you're tossing it, don't worry about it. That's fine. You know, that's just part of the heating them up that makes them softer and more squishy. But it also helps release some of those delicious juices that they have. And so you guys, oh my gosh, you know what? I forgot to put Parmesan in my pesto, which
Isn't that a sin in this household?
Yeah, I was going to say, it's kind of a sin. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put it on top. Because
Jackson.
if you've listened to this, I always bring something up. You don't have to be a perfect chef, but you can be a chef.
Leave it.
No. Thank you. So, yep, Parmesan. Again, the thing is great because you can stand it on the counter, or you can prop it over your bowl, which is exactly what I'm going to do here. Is that what Jackson? With cheese? Yeah, we like cheese, don't we? All right, so I'm just, you know, go to town with the cheese, however much you like. I think, you know, if you read a recipe, it says something like a half cup or so, but whatever the spirit is moving you to do. And then I think that that's it. So I think that we will be getting our Italian chicken and
Put it back, Jackson.
zucchini with pesto. It's going to get pulled together here, and we're going to sit down and eat. And I'll let you guys get back to your 4th of July plans. Thank you so much for coming to spend time with me today.